Morning guys, hope you're all having a lovely weekend. Following on from my little trip to Carcassonne, obviously I'm back in the studio now. I've been doing some printing from some of the images which I'm very pleased about, and I've shown some of those on my earlier TikTok post. I will share some of these with you again later on in the process of how I go through those. I just thought I'd kind of touch base with you today about the romanticism and the reality of running a studio. So I've been obviously professional for a very long time, working in other people's studios. I shared studio space with a very good friend of mine, Lawrence down in Battersea for several years, and then three other studios in that space. With various things that happened, we were asked to leave there because the rents were getting too high. And eventually I found this space down on Leon Sea, which I branded as the Glass Factory Studio, which ran successfully for 4 or 5 years and then relaunched as the Space. Now it's more of a community kind of background and darkroom. The original intention with the Glass Factory Studio was for it to be my studio, somewhere for me to work from, to come and obviously do more of my analogue work, and to just basically as a place of photographic expression. The reality of the lockdown and all the things that happened there meant obviously the world as we know it changed drastically. The reality of having as a luxury of having my own studio changed, and I therefore had to start renting it out. As part of that, there are many duties that come in line with being a studio owner when you're renting the space out. Obviously you have to tend to the needs of your client, make sure your clients are well looked after, otherwise you're not going to get repeat business. Within the realms of client care, there's obviously the necessity to keep the studio clean, to make sure the toilets are clean, to make sure the kitchen area is clean, to make sure the yard outside is clean, to make sure that the cove is clean and painted, freshly painted, and to make sure that everyone has a good experience so that they're able to come back, hopefully going to come back and rebook with us. Ongoing, obviously there's little tweaks you make, maybe you wouldn't have done for yourself because obviously you like the way your space is, but when you're again tending with clients, you have to adapt to their requirements. So we now have the facility to fully black out, which is not something I've done before. I preferred working with daylight. So now the studio has the ability to have full daylight or full blackout. And these small minor changes come over time. But the reality is of being a studio owner is you end up being a cleaner. That's what happens, you become a cleaner and maintaining everyone else's care and well-being. It's a bit like owning an Airbnb in a way. You know, you think, oh, I've got a beautiful space, I want to share it, it's going to be great. But all the time you're just working to keep the clients happy and to keep them coming back to help build and grow a better business. As part of what we're doing here at the Space now, I've had my friend Tom's been here managing it for me while I've been away shooting and doing other bits and pieces. And we've now made it into a more holistic space. So we've got different things going on here, not necessarily just photography. And we're trying to build a more community-built space, excuse the pun, to obviously bring the community in and make it a more welcome environment. Today's chore is going to be painting the cove, so I thought it would be interesting to see what's actually involved in that and where that comes from. I've got some nice music playing in the background, which obviously helps with the mood. I'm now going to kind of spin you around, take you around and show you what actually happens. It's not what everyone thinks, it's not that glamorous, and it's a lot of hard work, to be honest. Painting the cove, probably overall 3 hours, I'd say, to do it all. But it's worth it in the end when it's nice and clean and the clients come in and they like it. It's all good news. So enjoy your day. Let's see the second part of the video, and then I'd appreciate some comments back on what you think of the glory of and the romanticism of owning a studio is all about. See you in a bit. So today I've managed to paint the studio a bit quicker than I thought. It's only taken me 2.5 hours today rather than the 3 hours normal. I guess that's the familiarity and how I work through it, knowing what needs to be done and kind of just know you have to get through it. Just a quick one, guys. If you're lucky enough to go into someone's studio or you're lucky enough to shoot in a studio, just have a little 2 months to think about the amount of work and effort someone's gone to make that studio, to create that space, to create that environment for you to be able to shoot in. Have a look around. If it's clean and it's tidy and it's all prepared for you, it all looks simple, but that's actually a lot of work to make it look simple. It's a lot of effort by these guys to prep the space so that when you walk in, it's all ready for your shoot. So just a little bit of consideration for those that have prepped ahead of you. I know if you're renting or you know you're shooting as part of a group, it's all kind of taken for granted sometimes, but it's that effort by others that allows you then to come in and create with them to think about, oh, this is dirty, or this doesn't work, or the toilet's dirty, or there's no hand towels, or those just minor things. So it's very important that you put that effort in, or you put that effort into be considerate. Yeah, I guess that's the word. I think it's important to be considerate and just have some, you don't have to necessarily say it, but just be respectful of what's been done ahead of you. That's it really. That's another 2.5 hours of my life I'm not going to get back, but it's well spent because it means now when my client comes in this afternoon, they've got a studio that I'm happy for them to be working in, and I know that it'll be easier for them to work within the space, and that then creates the ambience and the atmosphere where, all being well, they'll come back again and again. So hope you guys have a great day, hope you enjoy it. Not a normal post, but this is all part of being the life of a studio owner, so it's not just about taking pretty pictures. Have a good day guys, take care.